What is up, YouTube? I am Cosmic Fro, and today I am back doing another Mortal Kombat 1 video for you guys today. This is going to be a discussion video. It's all going to be one take. I'm just going to have, this gameplay in the background while I sort of talk to you guys about, just overall my feeling on the game, my impressions, as well as stuff from the community, and, what the game needs, what the game does well, and finding, that sort of ground where we can make this game the best game ever, but we're gonna just also, if you guys do enjoy the video, leave a like, comment, subscribe. I'm almost at 500 subscribers, which is crazy to say. 6 months doing this and we're almost at 500, so thank you guys so much, and I really do appreciate any of the support you guys give me. But let's just talk about the my feeling on the game, just how I personally am enjoying Mortal Kombat 1. I think Mortal Kombat 1 is probably the best my favorite Mortal Kombat game personally that I've ever played. I enjoy it more than Mortal Kombat 9, which is near and dear to my heart. And I think the cameo system adds so much depth that I think Mortal Kombat was missing personally. Some people prefer the 1v1 sort of style of all the previous Mortal Kombat games, but I hope they stick with the cameo stuff in the future. I don't think this is as an experiment. I think this is something that should just be a part of Mortal Kombat going forward, personally. So props to NetherRealm for making an amazing Mortal Kombat game. Every character has a very interesting playstyle. I've been playing a lot of like Sub-Zero, just sort of like playing around, and I think Sub-Zero might actually be like one of my mains. I think Sub-Zero has a lot of utility against a lot of the aggressive characters, and there's a lot of like untapped stuff that just people have yet to find, and that's the beauty of the cameo system. You're able to enforce strengths of different characters with different cameos, and Sub-Zero is a very defensive character. Reptile, we're seeing a lot of Reptile play as well, using the force ball and sort of playing defensive as well, right? That back three, able to catch them on any advancing string or any advancing movement they want to have. He also just has good strings. Like I'm starting to see Reptile players perform well, and that just makes me extremely happy. I love seeing every character get representation. Sindel is mopping. We see Sindel's, even without the infinite stuff, which we'll talk about, but I think Sindel is a very strong character. I do plan to do a tier list again post Omni-Man, because there's been a lot of developments since the week 1 tier list that I made before. So definitely stay tuned for that. But yeah, the game is amazing, and NetherRealm, you guys made a great Mortal Kombat game. Balance aside, the fun is there, and that's the most important thing, is that the game is fun. It is fun as all hell, and I think anybody that plays the game or loves Mortal Kombat would agree with me there. Now, talking about some of the negatives of Mortal Kombat 1, a lot of people are voicing these things. I personally don't like to bash on anything that calling for nerfs and that kind of stuff, or bashing characters for not having certain things. Like, that's the kind of stuff that I just it sickens me, right? I think there are some negative things that as far as the game being complete content wise, single player content for everybody, right? This is a huge problem, I think, when you compare it to previous Mortal Kombat games and games of 2023. It doesn't stand up. It was rushed, and I think that's pretty clear for everybody to see. Most of us that play pretty hardcore on Mortal Kombat, we've all completed the shrine, and that's not a good thing. I remember Injustice 2, we had gear for a long time, and yes, there were repeats, and yes, there were colors that just didn't match, right? But at least the options were there, and in Mortal Kombat 1, everything looks amazing. The stages, let's talk about the stages and the music. They did amazing with everything on the stage front, everything with the music. Everything is great. Gameplay wise, stage wise, everything's amazing. But content, single player content with invasions. I tried invasions. It was kind of cool. I would play that casually. For everybody, it's not going to be this conquest mode that people were expecting, right? But I do think invasions is just sort of like, you sit on the couch, you want to play some games, you could play some invasions if you're like a casual player, right? But that's not me. I'm going to play multiplayer, but I think invasions is kind of all right. It just didn't provide, we also we don't have rooms or lobbies like in Mortal Kombat 9 and Mortal Kombat X. And there's just a lot of missing features, there's no crossplay, which is something that's sort of just expected for big AAA titles. There's no crossplay, which, sort of needs to be, and we're just voicing these things, talking about, what needs to come to the game. But yeah, crossplay is definitely the most important. We saw Ed Boon post on Twitter talking about things that need to be in the game, or what we would want to see first. But, these things should have already been in the game. And I don't think NetherRealm should get a pass for that. But that's okay. They're working on it and they've acknowledged it. So I guess I can be happy on that front, knowing that we're eventually going to get, that. And I am happy we got the game when we did, because if the game would have been delayed any longer, I don't know if my brain could have taken that. So I'm happy we got Mortal Kombat 1 when we did. But, I do think, at launch, it wasn't a complete package, which is unfortunate. But people are still playing the game. People are still buying the stuff from the store. Let's talk about the store. The store's another big negative here. I didn't really talk about this much, but that Halloween update, right, with the fatality, I was really excited for a Halloween event in Invasions, which we didn't get. I was excited to see what Halloween skins we might get. We didn't really get that. We got shaders, and they were all 500 dragon crystals, which I don't know what that's equivalent to. I'm pretty sure that's like $5, right, for some of those terror shaders that were in the shop, which is kind of insane. That's kind of just not acceptable. They should come in a pack and be $5 if you want all of the terror shaders, I guess, for every character. That's how I would do that, not just select characters. But then there was also the issue of the Halloween fatality being, 1,200 dragon crystals, equivalent to like $12, including tax, right? Depending where you're at. But yeah, that's just not acceptable. For a fatality when DLC characters, that were $5 before, came with 2 fatalities on their own, right? So it just doesn't add up. I think NetherRealm, they're getting away with it here. I watched the Nethercast. Had to clear my throat. I watched the Nethercast, and they sort of brought up, this is just sort of WB getting away with it, right? They already made their money from this, and now they're going to bargain the prices down now that we've sort of had our internet outrage. This is just sort of what WB expected, right? And that's not something that is healthy at all. It's really scummy, and I don't think Mortal Kombat deserved that. But it's not NetherRealm, guys. It's WB trying to get the bag, and it's just unfortunate. But Mortal Kombat is one of their bread and butter franchises. So honestly, I would expect nothing less of, the corporate scum trying to make these games not the greatest they can be. But that's just how it is. As far as negatives go, that's as far as it goes for me. I really do enjoy Mortal Kombat 1 in its entirety. Gameplay wise, I'm still finding new stuff. People calling for nerfs, they're crazy. I think it's crazy to call for nerfs when we have 16 cameos that have yet to be discovered. And I think most people calling for nerfs, they probably play like 1 or 2 characters and then like 3 cameos, right? That really play the game and think they're the shit. Like, you haven't done shit. Like, if you want to talk about nerfs, like, nerfs take time. We gotta take our time with this game. It's a brand new sort of system from NetherRealm, right? Balancing wise, Maximilian had a video talking about what balance should be, and sort of making everybody strong. Um, if it requires a rework, I think that's something, to have a conversation about, like if we want to talk about like Johnny, right? I think Johnny personally is okay. There's counterplay to Johnny Cage. It's just the other characters that, might need some help. Sub-Zero, since I play Sub-Zero, right? Has some gaps that just don't make sense, right? And when competing with characters like Johnny Cage, it's not great, but that doesn't mean we call for nerfs on Johnny Cage or Raiden or Baraka with some of the undeserved stuff, right? Yeah, I don't know. I think we need to take our time with this, and maybe we'll get a patch soon, but I think once every 3 months or once every 4 months is a good time frame for patches. Infinites aside with Sindel, and maybe a Jax rework of some kind because it's causing problems, right? Stuff that was unintended like that for, an unfair, inescapable Infinite with no counterplay, that stuff we can address. But for Johnny and characters that, have really good oppression and work well with the systems of the game, I think we just need to give the game more time, flesh it out, and just take our time, guys. Let's breathe and just have fun with it, Mortal Kombat 1, gameplay wise, it reminds me of like when I used to play with my younger brother on the GameCube, like playing the most broken shit we could find in Smash. I don't know, it just has like that fun element to it that a lot of players don't like. A lot of like players, especially players from MK11, I'm gonna call these players out. They want to have control. They want to have a read on the situation, and I think that just stems from how Mortal Kombat 1 or 11 was. Like you had to control so many different wake up options in so many situations that like you had to play the game slower. And so now that there's all this wild shit and crazy cameo combinations and a bunch of shit on screen, like people just think it's broken when really they're just trash. So I don't know. I think we just need to give ourselves time, guys, and just enjoy the game, and give NetherRealm time to figure out their balance philosophy with the game. This is brand new for them, right? They still have to think about how they want to do this. If they want to go for the cameos, right? Or, I'm sure they're figuring it out, right? They got all the data. They know what's strong and what's weak in the game. But there's still a lot of undiscovered stuff, so they have to be careful, and we can't be too hasty. So, yeah, that's gonna do it for the video, guys. I am so excited for Omni-Man and what could come with that. But if you guys did enjoy the video, leave a like, comment, and subscribe. We're almost at 500, so looking forward to it. Thank you guys for the support, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out.